All right with you. Welcome to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to talk about in reactive applications inside OutSystems. We know that by default, applications created in reactive are already responsive. But today we're going to go a little deeper. What is responsive? What do autistic people do to make you responsive? What are the built-in features? And what we can change for an application to be more with the face of what we need. If you want to know about it, I explain after the vignette. Let's go. So let's go here for our class today. She has her standard responsibility that happens when you open the web page there. She has is devices, mechanisms, and detect the screen size right. To know how it will adapt what you put on the screen. If it's a list, that will show. A table will appear the size of a button. That all the highest already does. It's kind of automatically. These classes then they check the device. Is the orientation if it is landscape or if it is a by trade. No browser if you are in Chrome. If you are in Ed. Is its operating system R. A variety of things. That is will say how it will be shown to your screen for the user. The first thing you must do. How to do. I will come here, search for and why beauty. And I'll see if you're here. The things I'm going to show you today, let me search by device. For example, beauty or has this display on the device, which is interesting and has others here. But come on one at a time, okay? I don't need to apply because everyone is already here inside mine. Well, let the first thing create a screen. Beauty and put the name of examples here. For example, beauty. While it creates the screen, let's stay here. Let me see what I can say first. Well, let's start with the display on the device. Come here. Let me see if he'll show up here. Here or what does this component make personal? Let's assume that I have one application and I want it is divide some part of the application or the whole of it. I want to do everything here in one block, right? Do as it will be seen on one desktop. How it will be seen on one tablet. How it will be seen on one phone. I can do this here in hand, right? Using this O component. Here's how I want one desktop to appear. Tablet and phone. I will give one very simple example here you want to see. Let's say if I have it on desktop. One text will appear. Here. One text. But it detect that this here is one tablet. He will appear. This here. Other text. And if he checks and talks. Good, no. This is one phone. I'm by the size of the screen. This is one cell phone. Then let me put one here. One any image. Beauty here. Application. I will give one publish. I'll show this to you guys back in the browser. Beauty, we are here, so in the browser, and look. Here it is detecting that I am using one desktop, right? Then it appears here. Oh pair, let me get ahead. One text. Are you seeing? One text. More, let's assume. That's it, I come here, slim the screen a little. When it reaches the size. It detects. He speaks. Well, this is the size of a tablet. There another text is seeing. He switched to the tablet or came back. So far as the size it considers a desktop. And ready here. From here to below, he detected. This is a tablet. If I go a little bit here to my left, when he arrives the size he recognizes. The size of a cell phone, let me see closer. This size I will even inspect the. But here comes this way. When it gets to this size here. Let me come here. Or 400 for 569. This size here he recognizes it as if it were an application, a device, its cell phone, and if I go increasing here, notice up here, let's see where he considers it to be. Let me enlarge the screen for it to enlarge too. Let's see. Let me find the exact point. Here more or less around here. 764 for 569 and the size of an ordinary screen. Let me zoom in here all my screen to one side. Ready from now on. He comes to know. To understand the. Let me come here a ready text. Is let's assume that from now on. Of the 1020. 1040. Finally he starts to recognize that I'm inside a web application. So he will adapt everything inside my screen. Here I only have texts, but whatever components you have here they will adapt. Okay, let's go back here for. Let me shoot here. This first example. And now let's do something else. Let's assume, okay, I have my application here. And I want, for example, is to use the columns, right? The famous columns. What are they for? So guys, what few people? You know it first, right? What we few know at first. Is that inside this? From anyone we use of these columns here. They have this hunter size here. Because this hunter size, for example, let me put two images here. Go just for me to explain more or less. Wait there. Image here. And another image here on the west side. Beauty, let's go back here in our colon. This hunter size, he will specify me the size I'm going to get between the images here. Okay, it's in vain. Between one image and another, or between one column and another. Here I can choose one of these default settings here. For example, if I had actually done, the tablet is slightly larger the screen than a ordinary cell phone could, for example, put this. In the behavior phone here I could. Or the most common thing, right? We use this break roll. He will put a image underneath the other. And doing it here, guys. Obviously that within that of their common application. If you've opened it and made it react, she will appear here, the columns. The way you used to drew. But when you slow down, you're going to show your application for someone on your phone or tablet. Finally, it will detect if the cell phone is lying down, is standing, and he will adapt. Is using the columns here. What did you put here from? Let me even put something here. This, for example. He will use the prefix that you put in the column to define this. It doesn't matter which application you are in. Beauty out of this one other. Let me delete this here. Another component who also works responsibly. It's the clear. Are you seeing lines? If it's on the desktop how many lines I want, I will put that I want to appear. for images. If it's on the phone, is one underneath the other? Understood. And here also the same thing, O gap between the lines, and look is using. What autistic people provide, we have already managed, is to create responsive applications without using CS. In the one, which is much more complicated, who has already made or tried to make an application, is using HTML. You know how boring you are. Work responsibly. For things to work, don't break anything, and autistic already brings it here to us. It's practically in the hand. Let me stay here. There are a few more things. What I want to show you here. Oh, let me drag here. One expression, for example, can be, and I will show you here. Oh, here you type this. You see what's here. Anyway, all this from here. Our mechanisms that detect which device is being used is, let's assume I have an application here. She is big. She has it for mobile and web. Only certain things I want that appear only within one mobile app. And other I want it to appear only within one application. Web, yes. I already made one video. How do you use roads to hide or show certain is screen components? But one thing you can use is also this from here. I'm going to click here on this desktop. Let me put the mouse on top here, or it checks if the current device is a desktop. If the device the person is using is a desktop, so let's assume that this expression here had something. Is that I just wanted that my user saw. If he had accessing directly from his computer, putting the value here as this desktop. Obviously it wouldn't work, but let me get you out of here. Put any value here. Any value. It's like I would, for example, to say that this expression here would only be visible if it was one desktop. Best way to do this. How anything here is to define our. Inflated our component there. Ours is. Text our expression inside a container. And say that this container is going to be visible. For example, so everything you have here, it will only appear if you open on the computer. Opens on cell phone, he does not appear. And there are these others here. Oh, what I most often use is the desktop itself. And the is phone fell. Let me see where he's here. Oh, is phone. Okay, there he stayed with the other one next to it. So in this case, if I give one public here now, I won't do it. That because I don't even need. But if I give one public here now, and I'm messing around here on my computer, I'm recording this video from my computer, this text, any value will not appear on the screen, because he will recognize that the device is a desktop, no phone. Okay, then later you come here, oh, and look here at this detection pill. That there's a lot of cool stuff. It's for you. For you to see and apply. They're in your applications. And now finally, leaves EU. Delete it from here too. Come back here, let me create a one. Last thing I want to show you here, within this action, is the next O. Click here. Right here. 7-0'd. Is this the case? 7-0'd. Then here I put the configuration O. Like I said, as I showed you. She already has her pattern that she recognizes. Is that number down is a cell phone? That number up is a tablet. And went from it to a desktop. But here you can define your own values is. in case you need. Then one specific value for your application. That if the deck is best its layout. You can come here and enter a value. I will put Asia's value here. Or say that if you go up to 500, size is a cell phone and 600 will any value. Here you can set it by hand. Where are you? What size do you want your application to be? Break to fit the content you created. Inside a device, tablet or phone, for example I won't extend myself too long, but it is one very interesting subject and I decided to record because doesn't have much content, has little content talking about responsibility. And it's interesting that we delve deeper into what the platform itself already brings it to us, right? Sometimes we go just in the common, in what we already used to use, and we have a lot, much more in hand, and we don't know. If you liked the video first, thanks for staying here, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, and of course, like the video to reach more people. See you next time. Until then.